This is also a game that's going to happen. It is the New York Jets against the Las Vegas Raiders. That is sitting, by the way, that is your Sunday night football game for everybody out there. Had the chance to flex out of that and chose not to. I have my thoughts. Anyway, it is sitting a point in favor of the Jets at some sites. It is a pick'em at some sites. It is a point in favor of the Raiders at some sites. So basically, it is a pick'em game here. The total anywhere from 36.5 to 37.5. Steven, it is a Jets defense that we know is actually legitimately good. It is an offense that is legitimately bottom three, and that is maybe being generous when it all comes down to it. It's putrid to watch them try to play. That's why I can only assume the Raiders are getting some love in this game because, yes, as good as the Jets defense is, the offense can't get in the end. The offense cannot do anything whatsoever. So the Raiders could win this game by scoring 13 points. It has to be the rationale behind all of this. Where do you stand on Jets and Raiders?
To quote Michael Scott from The Office, I think I'm ready to be hurt again because I bet the Jets last week and I turned it off by halftime because of Zach Wilson. And I've done it again. I've bet the Jets again because I don't know how Aiden O'Connell is going to move the ball against this Jets defense. Now, I also don't know how Zach Wilson's going to move the ball, but I at least know that the pass defense for the Raiders is pretty soft. So I'm hoping that he can at least do a little bit and not turn it over 3 times in this game. And hopefully Crosby just doesn't wreck this bet for me because he's an animal. And I think if he was on a team with a better record, we'd be talking about him for potential defensive player of the year. He's been just phenomenal. If you kind of listen to what's being said by the new coaching staff, and Antonio Pierce, and the new OC, they're talking about like smash mouth, run the football. If you look at the box score last week, granted big positive game state, but 26 carries for Josh Jacobs last week. And Devontae Adams, 4 catches for 34 yards. Fine by me. Go ahead and do that some more. They're just trying to hide O'Connell, I think, a little bit. Just plug my nose and take the unit I think that is the best on the field in this game, and I think it's the Jets defense.
Yeah, Adam, it is a very interesting handicap here. I mean, Sunday night football, so it's going to get bet, right? I mean, like people are going to come in and this thing's going to get bet. Is it going to move in favor of the Jets? Like, do we wait if we want the Raiders in this thing because it's going to go towards the New York market? I mean, is that what we do? Like, is this thing literally actually going to tick up from a total standpoint, which we see sometimes like in these primetime games? If that's the case, if I get north of 37, I mean, are these two teams going for 38 points? So I don't know. It's just a very interesting handicap.
No, and that's the play here. The 37.5, wherever you can find that on the board, bet that under and don't think twice about it because I want to make a comparison here and I want everyone to think about this because I'm going to tell you one of these two numbers is wrong. You have to decide which one is wrong, or maybe both are wrong for you. We talked earlier about Tampa and Tennessee, right? With a 39 total. You're telling me that this game is a 1.5 away from that game? No, I think the Tampa-Tennessee total is far too low. But if you look at this game right here, you look at a Jets defense, and pardon me for one second. You look at a Jets defense that this year, here's what they've allowed. And mind you, this has all been with Zach Wilson putting them in a blender for the entire season. They allowed 16 in overtime to Buffalo. They allowed 30 at Dallas in Zach Wilson's first start the next week. They allowed 15, then 23 to the Chiefs, 21, 14, 10, and then 27 in a game where they couldn't get off the field last week against the Los Angeles Chargers of Anaheim. So I can't figure out in any way how either of these teams is going to get to 20 points. And without a team getting to 20 points, you're not getting a 37 to go over. So if you can get 37.5, I would take that under.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that we might get. I mean, like, everybody likes to bet the overs, right? And I mean, it's one of those things where I do believe that maybe there is maybe that's the play in this thing. Just a very tough handicap all around because these teams are just so bad in certain elements, and it's just it's a bummer.